This is going to be the start of a new series where I'm making an attempt to 100% Stardew Valley post 1.6. And yes, I know what you're asking, why am I here 5 months later post update? Look, I'm a bit slow and stupid. Don't worry about these questions. And that does mean that we're going to be using the Meadows farm, which has its own lots of fun, including having a chicken coop to boot. So, without further ado, let's get into this 100 days of fun. If you've never played this before and are not familiar with the story of this game, first off, why haven't you played this game before? It is an amazing game. Go off, go buy it. Anyway, your grandfather dies, passes away, and gives you a letter on his deathbed. And he basically tells you, don't open this until you're sick of the corporate world. So you know what happens next? You get sick of the corporate world and you open up this letter. Turns out it's the deed to a farm in Stardew Valley, which you now go and make yourself home at. You get introduced to the Mayor Lewis, as well as your trusty friend Robin, who insults your house because, you know, she wants to get those juicy house upgrade purchases from you to upgrade said house. And then we move into our first actual day. Now, here's a fun fact. Unlike with every other house or any other farm you get with this game, you don't start with 15 parsnip seeds anymore. Instead, you start with 15 wheat to feed your 2 pair of chickens that you have. You also have a chicken coop and they're fenced in with some grass and bluegrass and a bunch of random debris that you'll deal with later on down the road. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure to grab ourselves some parsnips at some point so that we can start with the farming side of this game. But first off, let's spend most of the day foraging around, getting as much forageables as we can, talking to as any people we come across. Unfortunately, we come across this guy first who doesn't know us and tells us to shoot. Thank you. Much appreciated. Anyway, eventually after doing enough foraging, we sell all our foraging items to Pierre and we buy 56 parsnip seeds. And we go back to our farm. We clear out the debris in the small farming area that we have just below the house. We make ourselves a farm. Water part of it. Turns out we run out of energy. So I plant all the parsnips. Unfortunately, all of it's watered. So it's going to be a bit of a weird one. We're going to have some parsnips ready on day 5 and some ready on day 6. But that's not too much of an issue. Let's not worry about that too much. After doing that, we go to bed and on to day 2. Day 2, I finish watering the rest of the plants. And now we're all watered. We're all good, burning half our energy away. It's great, isn't it? Anyway, head over to the beach and we meet Willie, good friend Willie, buddy or pal, who gives us his old fishing rod, which is okay. We like fishing rods around here. We want to do some fishing, so you know what I do for the rest of the day? I go up to the mountain and we sit there and we fish until we run out of energy. Get a river jelly. We eat that until we get another Jojo Cola. We get a little bit more energy. We do a little bit more fishing. And then once I run out of energy, we're getting close to midnight now. I head back to the farm. I take the above path because, you know, that's a path I'm used to taking from this direction. Turns out there's debris in the way. Turns out I don't have the tools on me to clear that debris. So you know what I have to do? Walk all the way back around Stardew Valley, burning away more time and not getting to bed until 1 a.m. Great job, me. I totally thought all of this out, not making sure to double check that the top entrance was going to be usable before I left the farm. It's day 3, and you know what that means? It's raining, so I get to avoid the fun of watering plants, because that's totally what I want to be doing on this typical day. Anyway, going over to tend to my animals, give them some pets, I get my first set of eggs from the 2 chickens that we had at the start. But aside from that, it's time to go out and do fishing for the entirety of the day. Did I catch some catfish? Yes, I catched a single catfish. We'll ignore the fact that I failed 3 separate occasions earlier throughout the day, and the catfish I did eventually I caught about 10 minutes to midnight. Totally the greatest use of a day ever. Day 4, I just did the normal. I watered the plants, I then tended to my chickens, giving them a nice little pet, and then I decided that I would use all my energy today to just tidy up the area around my farm a little bit, gather up enough wood to create another chest to move my fish into, because I'm going to hold on to that just for a little bit, and then after I ran out of energy, I just explored the town, grabbing forageables, hitting up those artifact spots, even though I don't have the energy for it. Don't ask me on these stupid things. I do things that are silly. But I successfully got a single artifact, one out of the multiple artifact spots I went through. So after heading to the beach and finding a mining book, which gives me a mining level and some gold ore, which was pretty neat, I went up to Gunther. Go talk to the museum man for a few bits. Gunther said he wants some stuff, so I gave him a doll, and he was happy about that. And that's good enough for me. So I talked to some more people, did some more loops, and then went back home and went to bed a fair bit earlier this day. Day 5 would be a very eventful day because there's a lot of things opening up today that I want to actually attempt to do something with. Anyway, we start off by farming some of our parsnips because unfortunately we couldn't water them all on day 1, which kind of sucks, but we're not going to plant any plants today purely because I want to A, save energy, and B, I think consistency and everything growing at the same time would be pretty nice because it just looks weird when I have half the plants bare, and that's annoying, but the crows haven't attacked yet. I might be jinxing myself on that one. Anyway, I decided to also break down some trees to get enough wood to create a chest to have over at the mines. The first tree I tore down decided that it'd be a great idea to fall outside of the fence boundaries and dump almost all the wood that it gave me outside of my reach. Yeah, I was very happy about that news. So, tearing down some more trees to get some wood to make a chest, I then move into town for the day. It's then time for the community center to be unlocked by Mayor Lewis and have the Junimos play crazy person on me by pretending that by appearing, make me lose it, and then make me look like an idiot in front of Mayor Lewis. Thank you. That looks great on my reputation being here for only 5 days. Anyway, I read it, scroll. It's mumbo jumbo as always, and I head over to the mines. Get introduced, get a nice and massive pep talk from Marlon, where he also gives me a sword, and we jump into the mines for the most unlucky start to a mining adventure because we got to floor 4. After burning through all my food and all the energy stuff that I have, I then break almost every single rock on the floor to finally get a ladder, which I ran out of energy for a fair bit beforehand, which, you know, that is just mega frustrating, but I suppose that is just one of those things. It's not a good luck day, so screw me, I guess. Anyway, after the mines, I go outside, do a little bit of foraging, head over to the shopping cart and see that it's got nothing useful currently. Thanks, appreciate it, and head back home for an early finish. Day 6, I open up my door to see Clint sitting on the front doorstep because apparently he heard that I was in the mines last night and got some ore, so he gave me the blueprints to a furnace. Anyway, I check up into my mail and see the wizards invited me to his tower. I totally won't forget about that later. Time to harvest the rest of the parsnips that were grown, and luckily enough, crows did not attack any of them. I actually did not lose a single parsnip. Is this because of the farm, or is that just luck? I don't know. One of them was even gold, which is even better. Good stuff for the quality crops. Anyway, I take some time to gather the resources to build a pair of scarecrows to cover the entire farm area, tend to my chickens, and I head into Pierre's to sell the parsnips that I had on me, and then use all my money to grab 10 parsnips that I will grow some quality some fertilizers so I can get the rest of the golden parsnips. So a pair of cauliflower, knowing that there's a quest later on down the line that will ask for a cauliflower, some beans because, you know, I need one for the bundles, and then 57 potatoes. I then go back to the farm and plant all of it and then water all of it, eating a fair bit of my fish as we go through because, you know, it costs a lot of energy to do all these bits and bobs. Then I explore the world for a little bit, do some more foraging as I go, eventually heading to bed for the night. Day 7 is yet another busy day, starting off with a Queen of the Sauce, the first one of this entire series, getting my first recipe, the stir fry. Anyways, I head outside to water my plants and to pat my chickens and grab some eggs, which I slam into a chest, and then I move on around to go look at the shopping cart and see that the traveling merchant's got nothing useful again. There is some interesting things there, but nothing I really care about at this point in time, and then I head over to the wizards because I forgot to do that yesterday, so that's a funny problem. Anyway, we get high with the wizard, we see green until the green no longer be green, and suddenly we can speak Junimo gibberish. Funny. Let's go back to the base and grab the resources for the spring forageable bundles as well as a parsnip, and we head over to the community center, put them all in and complete the first bundle of the series, getting a bunch of spring forageable seeds as well, which we're not going to really do much with. Anyway, I spend the rest of the day in the mines. It's not really too eventful. Got some resources, found an infested floor for the 9th floor, which was interesting, almost died, and that was basically it. Built a furnace when I got out of the 10th floor and started smelting a copper ore before heading back to bed. Day 8, a lot of things happen. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage to show you because my dumbass forgot to start recording, and I did not realize that until I had already started the 9th day. So, great things. It rained, I went into the mines, made it to floor 20, had dealt with some not so great luck, but I can't show you any of that because the footage is not there. I'm great at this, aren't I? This is supposed to be my job. Day 9 was an interesting day. Basically just watered the plants, dealt with the chicken, started smashing some mayonnaise because I built a mayonnaise machine the night beforehand with the resources we collected so far, and ultimately just filled in some more bundles with the fish that we currently had, and then just went fishing for the majority of the day. Not really much happened, honestly. Day 10, hey look, another rainy day, but also my parsnips are up, so let's grab them all. Unfortunately, we only got a single gold parsnip out of the 10 with the fertilizer. Yes, I am frustrated at that, because you know what? It's also Wednesday, so you know what I can't do? Replace these guys. I'm going to have to do that tomorrow, and that's going to be fun. Anyway, after making some mayonnaise, I go underground and I go do some mining. And it was actually pretty successful, I would say so myself. Grabbed a bunch of coal, bunch of awesome resources, and made it all the way to floor 34 before passing out at 2 a.m. You don't know how desperate that scramble was to get the last ladder just to make it to 35, but no, life said no, and yeah, that's great. Unfortunate. On day 11, I woke up back in my bed because someone from JoJo took me home and yoinked some money from my pockets, which is fine, I suppose. I'm still not frustrated from last night, but that's okay. We do the usual chores. We water our plants, we go see our chickens, and hey, it looks like one's given me a large egg. Epic. That's useful. That's good for the bundles. That's one more thing ticked off the list. Anyway, head into town. I take my pickaxe to Clint's and start the upgrade on it because we may as well get to copper now because we got all those resources from the past many days of mining. Then on our way back to the farm, we pass by Pierre, we grab another 10 parsnips, we go home, we plant all of them with some more fertilizer and hope that this time round we get some gold parsnips. We've already got 2 of them, we only need 3 game, that's all I need. And then I head over to the mountain, do some fishing for most of the afternoon. I do a visit by the combat club thingamabob, I forget the name off the top of my head. I'm great, aren't I? And we do some fishing for the rest of the night, heading home, making there at about half past midnight. Day 12 is a very interesting day. First off, it's raining, so what does that mean? No fishing. Usually I'd be taking these days to go in the mines, but I don't have a pickaxe right now because that's with Clint, which is fun. But anyway, I decided to go out there, see my potatoes are ready to go, pick them all, save one of them, ship off the rest of them. Go over to my chickens. It turns out the other chicken has given me a white large egg, which is another thing for the bundle. So I put aside that as well as one of the potatoes I had from before, and then I go down to check out the traveling merchant, who has, what do you know, red cabbage seeds on day 12. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, I only have 400 coins and not 500, so I go back to the base. I go grab the bunch of mayonnaise that I've been saving up for a little bit now, because I was going to wait until I get the artisan thing before I start selling this stuff, but nope, I need money now. So I go to Pierre, sell the mayonnaise, go back, grab the red cabbage seed, and go and take that back to base. Pretty good so far, eh? Go over down to the ocean now, because I just intend to fish for the rest of the day, purely because I still need to get an eel, and I don't know how many more rainy days I'll get, so I may as well get it today whilst it's here. And I grab a few more fish to sell to Willie so I can grab a fiberglass pole, and then I just fish for the rest of the day, successfully getting an eel that I was chasing. Multiple of them, actually. Heck, we managed to go for the last thing to get a bunch of new fish, which is pretty neat. Got to level 5, which means that now my fish will sell for 25% more, which also means I get to sell all the fish that I've been hoarding since I started fishing. It's day 13, you know what that means? It's time for the Egg Festival. First off, we gotta do some preparations, watering the plants around the business place, as well as making up some new areas to store all the strawberries that we're surely going to buy. Anyway, take care of the chickens and do all that stuff, and by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm only partway through watering the crop area, so let's go over and go to the Egg Festival. We successfully buy 56 strawberries. That's actually a lot less than what I expected, and kind of sad, but whatever, that's okay. We talk to literally everyone in the village, and we finally get that task done, where we finally talk to everyone for the first time, and we move into the egg hunt, and you know what happens? I dominate, I destroy them, I get 10 eggs and destroy them, kids. Suck on it, Abigail. You can go up the tree over there. I don't know. Don't know why I'm being overly competitive. It's only a straw hat. It's the best straw hat, and it's only a straw hat. Anyway, that's the end of that day. End of the festival anyway. After the festival, I plant all those strawberries, finish watering them, and then head to bed for the night. After successfully selling 3,000 coins worth of fish that I'd stored up, now we finally hit level 5. Day 14, it was a Sunday, meaning that we have another Queen of the Source recipe to collect. Outside of that, nothing much eventful happened today, just did the usual chores of the watering and the animal caring, and then also started doing the massive job of cleaning the farm. Day 15, it turns out Mum has sent me 500 gold, which is pretty neat. Was that only the female that got that initially? It's now you get both the cookies and the money. That's actually a pretty neat change. Anyway, we finally picked up the new parsnips, and thank God we got 3 gold ones, so that means we've now got 5 for the quality crops bundle. But not great odds still, but hey, I guess that's all there is there. But ultimately, not much else really happened that day. It was just salmonberry season time, so salmonberries, then broke some trees for more experience, not much else really. Day 16, yet another ultimately uninteresting day. The first bean's finally ready, so hey, another thing for the bundle done, but ultimately more salmonberry hunting, and then I decided to jump into the mines for a bit, made it down to another 5 levels, which isn't exactly great, but when you have double bat horde on the first level you go into, odds are never going to be in your favor in those days, aren't they? Day 17, it's yet another summerberry season day. Great, these days are going on forever, but hey, I'll take free food for the mining trips, but something interesting did actually happen today. When I was in the Cinderwood Forest, at the bottom end of it, I discovered this rainbow and water feature area as well as a pot of gold. I've never seen this before, and eventually I clicked the pot of gold. It gave me like 200 gold and a leprechaun hat, which was kind of funky. Never seen this before, but this is cool. Anyway, moving along, did the typical salmonberry run, then I would end up going in the mines, and I managed to get down to floor 45 before the end of the night. Considering that I get into the mines by like 3, getting 10 floors down is pretty good. Day 18, more of the same, dealing with the plants, farming the chicken. That's the wrong way around, lol. Anyway, the cauliflower was up today, so I put one away in the chest for a Jody's quest later on. I believe that's, if I'm remembering things correctly. Someone asked for a cauliflower sooner or later. Anyway, then take the other one plus the eel that I collected a little while back and took them and completed another bundle, finishing the spring's crops finally. Got a bunch of speed grow and opened up the furnace room. Anyway, after doing some salmonberry farming for a good chunk of the day, I just head into the mines and do more mining. I managed to get to floor 54 with just under an hour before 2 a.m, so the panic was on to find a ladder and get down to floor 55 and hit the elevator before it reached 2 a.m, and I managed to somehow do it by the skin of my teeth in spite of fighting a bat. I feel proud of that. That was pretty cool. Moving on. Day 19! Jody sent a piece of letter and she's asking for a cauliflower. What did I tell you? There's a second cauliflower for a very good reason. Anyway, after watering the plants, I decided to actually check inside the coop for the first time in obviously a fair bit of time because there was a lot of eggs waiting there to greet me and say hi. So after throwing one of those into the mayonnaise maker, I head down to the mines for the rest of the day. Unfortunately, we only get down to floor 60 because it's a bad luck day. Things didn't go our way. It's be that simple. Day 20, just repeating what happened yesterday, did the typical farming chores of the plants, the animals, and then head into the mines for most of the day. Managed to get down 15 floors today, which is really good progress. We managed to get to floor 75, and also collected a lead pipe along the way. A lead club. Same thing, I guess. Day 21, this is the day that things happen. First off, the strawberries were finally ready, so I picked all of them. Isn't this beautiful, just picking a bunch of strawberries and selling them all? It's great, isn't it? And watered plants, did the typical things with the animals, smashed some mayonnaise, I don't know. Head over to the mines and we continue the long haul grind, making it to floor 80 and then starting the casual grind through the floors to get some gold and other bits and pieces like that. And unfortunately, I died. It's great. And you know what I lost when I died? I lost an iron bar, which is okay. I picked up a random one from a mob, which is whatever. And then the 13 gold ore that I'd collected so far. Thanks, game. Much appreciated. Totally didn't want that one. Anyway, it was okay. Went back, ate some food, went back in, managed to get to floor 85, and then just kind of farmed for some gold, trying to grab a fire quartz as well whilst I'm doing that. So I have all the bits and pieces for the next day to complete the fire bundle, which is the furnace bundle, which is pretty good. Day 22 is another day that I would like to call a very eventful. First off, I woke up to Dimitri's wanting to turn my cave into something because I finally made 25,000 gold. Man, it took me this long? Jeez. Anyway, we went with fruit bats purely because they're more useful and the fruits tend to be very usable for a good chunk of bundles, so I would much rather that over mushrooms, and we just do the typical chores in the farm. Then we move over to the mines to grab all the bits and pieces necessary to complete the boiler bundle. Unfortunately, I have an earth mineral back at the base instead of at the mines, so I had to backtrack for that and then head into town to complete every bundle in the boiler room. That was kind of satisfying to do all of them back to back to back and get all those awesome items and see it complete. Also opening up the safe and the bulletin board at the same time. I went onto the safe and then spent 7,500 gold that I had from the strawberries of the previous day in order to just get some of those out of the way, and then I head into town, see that there's a quest on the board. The quest required me to talk to literally everyone in the village, so I make my best attempt to do that. When I head into Pierre's, it turns out that the good old Jojo Mart guy is coming here to take everyone away, give 50% off to everyone, except for me apparently. I don't matter. Sad. Anyway, after Pierre cries a little bit, we buy a bag and I talk to him and we move on with our day, and I just continued attempting to complete this quest. Didn't talk to everyone by the end of the day, but mostly did. We'll clean that up tomorrow. And as we sleep away, day 22, the Jumino start dancing around the mine carts, finally showing that they're back up and running. Day 22, just the typical chores that I have, watering the plants, giving the chicken some love, and then I ultimately start moving some stuff away from the mines back to home base, make a few more chests, start organizing my stuff just a little bit better. I would then take my pickaxe to Clint and start the seal pickaxe upgrade, so mining gold will be a little bit quicker when it comes time to do that, because there's a flower dance tomorrow, so it's one day that I'm going to lose anyway, so may as well get the pickaxe going in now whilst I have all the resources for it. I then ultimately finish exploring everywhere else, finding everyone that I need to talk to that I didn't talk to yesterday, completing that quest. When I was roaming around late at night, I came across Linus just going through people's trash as people who are homeless do, and yeah, that happened. Moving along. Day 24, it's the flower dance day, so I just water my plants, deal with the chickens, do all the fun little chores, bits and bobs, and then I head over to the forest for the flower dance, and it's cool. I get rejected, as expected. It's just how all the first times go, you know? Anyway, that's basically it for the day. Day 25, another not really eventful day. We got another strawberry harvest. I believe the last one I'll get in this season, because I don't think I'll grow back in time for the 28th, which kind of sucks, but that is what it is. And ultimately, I just spend a little bit of time trying to get clay out of dirt, because my brain completely forgets that, you know, you can smash geodes and get clay that way, so I can make the silo. Because what I want to try and start doing is moving towards at least improving my farm area. Anyway, after a little bit, I just start decorating the farm, brought some carving recipes from Robin to start doing so, and yeah, not really much happened this day. Got my pickaxe back though. Day 26 is kind of just a repetition of yesterday. I just continue to do the decoration of the farms, figuring out where I want to put sprinklers now that I have them, and just trying to figure things out. I do go smash some geodes eventually, donate a bunch of stuff to the museum, get a few rewards, and finally start building a silo so I can start properly cleaning up areas, because, you know, I kind of want to make sure I get at least 100 weed properly. That'd be handy. But yeah, just burn most of my energy for the day just cleaning trees and stuff along those lines. Day 27, what a day of, not much really, just doing the typical chores and then heading down into the mines as I try to A, grind down some more gold to make enough quality sprinklers to do my full farm for summer kicking in, as well as trying to get even further into the mines, trying to get down to the 120 so it's all done and dusted. But I'm not going to lie though, the luck of today made me absolutely suffer. Not having a good fast weapon at this point in time, and just me not being good at dealing with combat in this game, I suffered and took so much damage, went through so much food that the salmon berries I got in salmon berry season are almost completely gone, which is wild. Day 28, the final day of spring. Ultimately, this is just grind day number 5 million, whatever number it is at this point, I'm not counting, because purely it's now trying to get as much quality sprinklers as I can before this day ends. And honestly, I think I do pretty good at that. Not only do I get to floor 100 after a bit of grinding, because now I've got the obsidian edge, these mobs are no longer near as annoying to deal with. I now actually deal enough damage that it's not as much of a problem, but I just casually grind out resources for the entire day, grab all the sprinklers I need to make the farm that I think I'll stick with for most of this series, purely because there's not really massive areas to farm in this area, so I'm just going to choose to make the most of the space I can. I might redesign it at some point, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, it's going to do fine for now, but that's good. That's the end of spring. Honestly, I think that is the most productive spring I've had before. It's actually was really cool and very satisfying to get all of the boiler room done in one foul swoop after just grinding in the mines days on end. And ultimately, I think it's worked out really, really good pace and a really good position to start into summer, and hopefully getting some major things ticked off in the first 100 days. It's summer! It's day 29, aka day 1 of the summer season. You know what this day's like. It is effectively the grinding up, the clearing of the old plants, farming anew, grabbing all the bits and bobs and plants and stuff and getting it all out there. Luckily, I had 9 melon seeds that I collected from the museum to put down with some quality fertilizer, as well as the red cabbage seed we brought a fair bit earlier. Then I head into Pierre's, who buy in a bunch of seeds from him, where we got almost 100 blueberries, got the hot pepper, the tomato, the sunflower seed, the poppy spangles, and 10 corn that we also going to have quality fertilizer on, because the melon and the corn will be the last 2 things needed for the quality plant crops as well, which will be super good once that's done, and so on and so forth. Honestly, it's just a busy day of grinding out, putting things together, getting things done, and then exploring at the end of the day, grabbing the last few bits of foreseeable for the summer bundle, and we're done on that stuff, and we're moving on to the next day. Day 30, it's raining, there's thunderstorms. I don't have enough levels for the batteries yet, and that's a fun problem that I'll have to sort out on a later point in time. Either way, I just grab a fishing rod, go deal with the animals, and then I head off and just fish for the entirety of the day. There's a lot of fish to grab this season, and luckily I managed to get most of the ocean fish before 12, head into the river, get the one that I need from there, and then head up to the lake and fish there for the rest of the day until I run out of energy. And I go to the community center on my way back home and complete the ocean fish bundle, and add a few more fishes to a good chunk of the other bundles as well. I would say pretty productive. Day 31, another day of not really doing much, just tidying up the farm a little bit at the start, getting a barn finally after getting a bit more wood, and then just fishing the day away, getting the sunfish finally to almost complete the riverfish bundle. Day 32, because repeating tasks can be kind of boring, I decided I'd spend this day doing some mining. Unfortunately, we only get around 5 floors more deeper into the mines, but hey, getting to 105 isn't that bad, we're getting closer to the end. Speaking of repetition, on day 33 I decided to go back in the mines again. Didn't I just say repeating myself would be dumb? Yes, I did do that just a moment ago, but that's okay because we almost made the floor 120. Almost. You see, I got to 118 just before 12. I did not find a ladder until 130, and I did not get lucky enough to have a ladder spawn by default on floor 119, so I smashed a few rocks before passing out in the mines. Honestly, it's pretty successful to be basically there. Kind of sucks we didn't quite make it because luck just wasn't in our favor. Day 34. A lot of things happened today. So first off, the barn is done. So I open up the barn, and also my wheat's also done. So I also collected that. Anyway, after a little bit of roaming at the farm for some reason, I head over to Marie to get a pair of cows to get that started. Ooh, fun. Head over to Pierre to get a few more wheat planted, and then I just head back into the mines for the rest of the day, purely because, you know, we're almost at floor 120. May as well finish it now. I managed to do that by about 6 in the day, so I come back out, start smelting the buttload of gold ore that I have collected from those final levels. For some reason, I've ended up overall with more gold than I did iron or copper in those levels, which is quite funny, but hey, that is what it is, and yeah, that's that day. Day 35, we continue the streak of doing very many things in a given day. We first start off by taking care of the chickens, you know, the normal, smashing some eggs into some mayonnaise. You get it by now. It's the pattern that literally happens every morning. I don't know why I'm telling you to it again. Head over to the mine, start cooking up some more gold. As I said, I've got a lot of gold ore to go through, and it's actually pretty nice having an abundance of gold. I do need to get more iron and copper at some point, but that's a later me problem. I grab 5 copper bars, and then I head over to Clint's, who's not open yet. Man, you really like making me wait, don't you, Clint? I just want to give you an axe. I just want to give you money. You could just be open a little, and he's open. Okay, cool. We give my axe to Clint so we can start upgrading it to the bronze axe. Afterwards, I then head over to Leah's place to see a new cutscene. Ooh-wee, fun. I can encourage her to host a art gallery thing in the town at some point in the future. That could be cool. Anyway, give her a gift, and then I just fish and do more fishing and fish again for the rest of the day. It's pretty good, I suppose. Day 36, it's just some more grind today, trying to cook through all the gold that's left over at the mines, and then I'm also hitting levels 40 to 50 to grind out more iron, and then smelting that once the gold's smelted through. Ultimately, not much really happens today. Day 37, we get the copper pickaxe back, which is pretty cool. I go over to the secret forest, and yep, this of course is not high enough level to get in there just yet. And yes, you can use the chair, but I want to get the axe done because that just feels good, okay? Leave me alone. Just need to get some more money, which that means I'm going fishing for the rest of the day. Finally get the pufferfish that I've been chasing for a hot minute now, which means that the fish for summer is almost done, and then just, fish for the rest of the day, successfully sell about 5,000 gold worth of items at the end of it. Day 38, the red cabbage is finally ready. It actually feels really, really good to have the red cabbage done this early. Didn't even need to worry about the greenhouse because we managed to snag it on one of the earliest traveling carts I've ever seen it appear on. So that's awesome. And a few other things went to the bundles as well today. By the time I finished organizing those bits and pieces, I was heading over to Clint and just perfectly lined up clicking on the door as it clocked over to 9 o'clock, so he let me right in so I can shove an axe in his face again with a bunch of iron and ask him, hey, could you put the steel please? Copper kinda sucks. I ultimately wasted a bit more time throughout the day just grabbing bits and bobs, not doing particularly much, until I eventually go up to the mines, smelt the last of the ore that I had up there, and grab all the excess weapons and stuff and show to Marlin. Unfortunately, Marlin hadn't opened yet. It was still about 2 hours to that. Man, waiting's great, isn't it? Eventually sell it to him, and then I go off to bed very early today. Day 39, it's luau time. You know what this is. It's time to have some soup at the beach. But first, I've got to do some things at the farm. The cows casually remind me, hey, we're ready to be milked now. Letting me know that, I don't have a pail yet. And because it's an event day, that I'm not going to be able to get one today. Well, that's a shame. Anyway, with the small time that I have before the luau starts, I just start doing some paving, start doing some decoration of the farm. Because, I'm still yet to properly do that. And it'd be nice if it looks a little nicer here. Anyway, 9 o'clock comes and I go to the luau, talk to everyone, and I throw my golden quality mayonnaise into the potluck, which the governor absolutely loves, getting the first achievement that I haven't got in this playthrough so far. Pretty cool, pretty neat. That's basically the day though, so we just go to bed and move on to the next one. It's day 40. We get our steel axe back today. That's pretty good. I also grab a pail so I can finally milk them cows, and then just did a spot of fishing in both the secret forest and the mines so I can get some more speciality fish and start progressing the bundles a little further. Day 41, it's raining again. I still haven't got any lightning poles, so still no batteries for me. Shame. Anyway, the melons are ready, and we successfully got 5 golden quality melons, which is amazing. Awesome. Don't need to grow any more of them, and that's awesome. I also took the morning time out to catch a sturgeon fish so I can complete the lake fish bundle, as well as add the various other bits and bobs to the bundles that I've collected over the past little bit now. And I spent the rest of the day just cleaning up the farm because A, I need to start getting a lot of wood because I need to complete some bundles with it. I need to do the barn upgrade and the chick upgrades. I also need to do the bridge so I can get to the other side of the beach thing. A lot of things need wood. I've already got almost 1,000 stone. Stone's good. I now need to get a lot of wood. Day 42, it's a Sunday, so Queen of the Sauce time. We go out to see a beautiful field of blueberries. It's blueberry time. Farming all of them. Keep one aside because you need for the summer crops and throw the rest of them in the shipping bin. That's going to look beautiful when I go to sleep tonight. And ultimately, after taking a bunch of wood down to the beach, building that bridge thing, and then completing the construction bundle, I went up to Robin's to see how much the coop upgrade and the barn upgrade was going to cost, and it's going to need another about 1,000 wood. It's great, isn't it? So back to the farm, and we're just going to clean for the rest of the day, continue the progress we made yesterday. Day 43, the corn is ready, and we successfully get 6 golden quality corn, which is pretty neat. More than we needed, but that's okay. So I take my corn, I take the blueberry from yesterday, and we take it to the bundles, and we complete not only the summer crops bundle finally, we also complete the quality crops bundle, which feels really, really good. All that's left now is to get a few more animal bits and bobs, as well as the 4 crops, really. That's all that's really left to do. Oh, some artisan shenanigans. But honestly, we're in a really good position with the bundle so far. Honestly, really good. I'd go to Pierre's and buy myself an apple tree and a pomegranate tree because it's time to get those planted because we're halfway through summer. I need to get that grown and cycle through a little bit into fall because we're going to need 4 apples and at least 2 pomegranates because that's going to be used for both the artisan as well as some of the citizen bundles. We also go up to Robin and we get the big coop upgrade going, which is pretty good. Then spend the rest of the day continuing the work that I've been doing for the past few days of clearing out the farm, trying to organize some things, and start thinking about the redesigning and how I want to actually set up the layout of this farm. Day 44, continue the clearing of the farm that I've been doing for the past about probably a week now, and I'm still trying to think about how I want to design this space. Part of the problem I'm having is that I've never really been to the late game before, so I'm unfamiliar with the obelisk and doing shed stuff and various different bits like that. So it's just a lot of planning that's occurring and just thinking about how I want to design this entire farm. Day 45, the coop is upgraded finally, so after walking into Leah arguing for her ex-boyfriend, I wonder who I'm chasing after this 100 days, we go over to Marie and we buy a duck, another duck, ducks and ducks, only one, and then I just spend the rest of the day clearing out the farm, starting to organize where I want to move the animals to as I'm starting to figure my plan out. Day 46, it's time for another round of blueberries, which I all gathered up, and then I do the typical chores, and I head over to Pierre's to sell all the blueberries immediately, because I want to get the barn upgrade started, as well as move all my animal coops over to the new area that I've now located for them. I get over to Robin's, and she's not there. It's Thursday. Why is she not here? What is she doing on a Thursday this time of year? 18th day of summer is the one day of the year where Robin goes for her yearly checkup at Harvey's clinic. You know, the day that I want her. That's great. It's fantastic. I've planned this out a little bit, and she's not here. Just my luck. So after doing some menial things, I end up waiting at Robin's house for ages until she starts showing up at home to use after hours Robin, because if you didn't know, if you are to wait until Robin reappears into her house, you can right click her shop when she walks by and it'll open up her shop for you. So I still move the buildings into their new locations and start the big barn upgrade today as intended. It was just a very big waste of day because I had to patiently wait for her to turn up back at home. Great. Anyway, finished clearing out the new animal coop area, and now I've officially finished clearing out all the debris and mess in the actual farm area, which is pretty cool. Day 47, honestly just a lot of organization, decorating of areas. Now that the barns and all that have been moved, time to figure out my pathways. I go back and forth a few times figuring things out, and then I come across the duckling jumping into the water and swimming across. I've never seen that before. It caught me a bit off guard coming across that, which is interesting because I don't have a fence around the lake because I assumed there'd be a nice natural barrier. Apparently the duck says, nah fam, no natural barrier for me. I'm going to roam around the rest of your farm just because I can. Anyway, after that, just again, more decorating of the farm, figuring out the layout. I'm not quite happy with it so far. Seems a bit rigid. I don't know yet. It's a bit Day 48, it's day 1 of the Trout Derby. So, what's the Trout Derby, you're asking? I don't know, I haven't done this myself first, but apparently, in these 2-day period, you can do some fishing in the Cinder Sand Forest, and whenever you catch a rainbow trout, there's a chance that it will drop a golden tag with it, and then you can trade those golden tags in for various different rewards. In day 1, I only got 2 golden tags after catching about 15 different rainbow trouts, which is not great odds. The first one gave me a sleeping tent, and the second one gave me 3 mystery boxes, which will have to be smashed over by Clint another time. Very interesting so far. Let's go on to day 2 of it, eh? Day 49, aka day 2 of the Trout Derby. First off, after dealing with the animals, I end up going to a traveling cart to make sure to buy myself the rare seed now, just so I know I have it on day 1 of fall, considering that is only 7 days away. We also get an omelette from the traveling cart, which is pretty handy, I suppose. We don't have to worry about cooking that, but, you know, we still got to cook the sushi or the maki at some point. And we go down and we actually have a pretty successful day when it comes to fishing. I managed to successfully get about 4 or 5 golden tags with various different items. The first one was a diamond. The second one was a trout mounted wall piece thing. Then also got 20 deluxe bait, which is pretty cool. 2 triple espressos, also pretty cool. And the last one I got was a quality sprinkler. I would say that's a pretty good day of fishing to get all those extra bonus items. Caught even less golden trout, rainbow trout than I did yesterday, which is quite funny to get so many more golden tags. But hey, that's how it works. This event was kind of cool. I liked it. Moving on. I woke up on day 50 to see a green icon on my info suite UI. Okay, I just should explain this a little bit. So I've got 2 mods in this playthrough. I've got the UI suite, the info UI suite, which is all these additional icons that just give me extra information so I don't have to, let's say, watch a TV consistently, or so I know whose birthdays it is. It's just very useful. I played it with it like years ago, and ever since I can never get rid of it. Another one is one I'll talk about later because it's non-consequential to the game. It's just going to be something cool later on. Anyway, it's got a green icon there. It says it's going to rain tomorrow. What in the world is that? I've never seen that before. This is weird. Either way, it's day 50. We're at the halfway mark. My god, this has actually been crazy so far. So, not much really happens today. I go over to Robin's and I move my house and shipping container because that's a thing you can do now. I go down to Clint. I smashed the 3 mystery boxes, which gave me 10 quality fertilizer, gave me 10 hardwood, and then some crispy bass, which was pretty neat, I suppose. Then I decided that, you know what, I would actually upgrade my house today as well. So I went back up to Robin's with some wood and did that, which is pretty neat. And then I started designing the area around the house, when by start, I just put down a floor and built 1 large chest because I don't have much coal resources or earth crystals to make more mayonnaise. She's like, it's got a bit of mining to do to get some more resources. So I spend the rest of the day in the mines. I woke up on day 51 to see that, oh, it's a bit green and foggy in my room. Have I just warped into Persona 3 for a moment and we're now in the dark hour? I don't know how many people will get that joke. But yeah, go outside and it's raining, but it's green and there's plants everywhere, literally everywhere, making a mess of the farm that I spent so long cleaning. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. It's fine. All I see is the good news of too much fiber to ever even think about. But hey, that's cool. I just sieve away everything in the farm, which takes so long. But hey, lots of fiber, and all it requires is siphoning. I don't run out of energy. It's pretty cool. When I walk over to the bus stop, because I'm heading over to the tavern now, the letter said there's people there, so I want to go talk to them, see what they're feeling. I see this beanstalk looking thing, which was intriguing. When I cut it down, it gave me a bunch of fiddlehead ferns. That's cool. I'm not trying to feel it. It's really this is a very interesting weather thing. I'm just trying to process everything with this is. So anyway, I head over to the tavern. I just talk to everyone. Everyone has their different opinions on what it is. Maya says that, you know, it seems to be perfectly fine. There's not really much harm that's going to come from this, but hey, people are freaking out anyway, so, you know, do your thing. And yeah, that was the day. I just kind of just went away and destroyed a lot of grass, took down a bunch of beanstalks, which was kind of fun. I don't know, it was nice to have a different day, I suppose. Day 52, we continue on the organization streak that I've been doing for a little while now. Now moving all of my animal items over towards where the animals are. I'm making another mayonnaise machine and attempting to design that. Also moving the furnaces from the mines back to home in order to organize that area a little bit and continue more chest transfers. After a little bit, I head into the mines to just continue what I've been doing for the past little bit now, getting more copper and other bits and bobs because that's just what I'm low resources on. This time though, I finally come across my first ancient seed in the mines. Unfortunately, it was already too late to go and hand into Gunther, so I just keep mining for the rest of the day. I wake up on day 53 in a bigger bed than I went to sleep in. That's suspicious. Robin, what did you do overnight? I know I like having a bigger house now, but what happened? Why'd you move my bed anyway? After doing some animal shenanigans, I take the ancient seed and a dwarf scroll to Gunther and give it to him and get myself an ancient seed and the recipe to convert random ancient seeds you find in the mine into an actual plantable seed, which could be useful. I then sell some items to Pierre, which would be useful, and then I go and buy the final money thing in the vault for 25,000 gold and complete the final bundle, which is pretty awesome. Getting it done by the end of summer, though I probably could have done this a lot sooner, but I've just been spending my money elsewhere. For example, the barn and the coop, which I also remember to buy my goat today because I forgot to do that when it upgraded initially. Quite funny, am I? I do stupid things. After all these stupid shenanigans, I just head in the mines for the rest of the night to grind up some more copper. After the Junimos show off their moves at the bus stop, it's time to move into day 54, where I woke up to the final blueberry harvest of the season. So I collect all of it and then start the bit of process to reorganize my farmland, just to make a bit more space to get a few more crops out of it. Yes, I could have probably done this differently if I was thinking a little harder, but ultimately it's one of those things where this is just what I was thinking about for a while now, and I like this design as it is, and I'm not going to go through the effort of doing it all over again. I also planted in some wheat seeds in the area just so I can keep all this land cropped until fall, meaning that I don't have to do any of that. I just buy the plants, throw them in, and be done with it, which will be pretty neat. Before I go to bed, though, I do get the resources together to make a bunch of lightning rods and put them out, though I believe I'm probably way too late for that. At least there's one that's been out all day from one of the bundles I completed earlier, so at least that's a win. Lol. Day 55, ultimately the most boring day so far in my opinion. I basically waited until 10 PM or 10:30 when Pam got to the bus, took a fishing rod over to the Calico Desert, grabbed myself both a cactus and a coconut, and also fished for the sandfish if I remember it correctly, and then just looked at the skull key in the caverns and then moved back to Stardew Valley. Donated those things to complete the specialty fish bundle and the exotic foraging bundle, which is pretty neat, and ultimately I don't accomplish much else that day. Day 56, I think today is the ultimate meaning of the summer blues, where I've really got not particularly much to do. I've accomplished effectively everything that I need to do in summer, which is kind of cool to say the least. Yeah, I could do some fishing today to make up more money to spend tomorrow for the fall crops, but at the same time, I think I'm just going to relax a little bit on today. I check out the shopping cart and turns out she's selling a truffle, so I make the decision to buy it for now. Yes, I will intend to get the big pens at some point in the future to get pigs and stuff like that, but I feel like for now, this just guarantees I do get the truffle within this 100 days, considering that it takes a lot of money and resources to upgrade the barn again, and I also still need to do that for the chicken coop to get a rabbit's foot, so I think that's just a smart decision. Ultimately then I just wait around until 10 PM where we go to the beach and say goodbye to summer and acknowledge that we're at the halfway point of the year, which is kind of wild. But hey, here's that epic beat. It's a very just beautiful little ending to the halfway point. It's day 57, we're now officially in fall, so you know what that means? All the fun stuff that occurs at the start of a new season, clearing out the old crops and making way for the new ones, heading over to Pierre to buy all the new crops for the season, and finding out that I did not have enough money saved up to get all the cranberries that I wanted to fill up my fields. That is not a great start to this, and from my calculations, I need another 12,000 gold. Not great, unfortunately. That means I'm not going to have full cranberry harvest for the first one. So I've got until Sunday to get enough money together to get the rest of the cranberries so I can at least sync the harvest of the new cranberries to the ones that come in originally, which kind of sucks. Also roamed around the field for the rest of the day and did not find any hazelnuts or common mushrooms to complete the foraging bundles, which is also very annoying. On day 58, I was greeted by a duck feather inside of the chicken coop, which is pretty awesome. When I head over to the town to do some fishing for the day, I was also greeted by the special requests board, in which I ended up taking the aquatic overpopulation quest, which requires me to catch 10 tiger trout, which I think I was able to get that day, which I actually didn't because I didn't catch my first tiger trout until like an hour before they stopped appearing. Thanks game, luck is brutal sometimes. And the same thing almost repeated with the walleye, taking it to almost midnight before I finally caught a walleye in the mountain. Thanks again game, great luck. Anyway, on my way back to base, even though it was already midnight, I completed not only the river fish bundle, but the night fishing bundle, as well as the dye bundles. More bundles are done. We're looking really, really good already. Day 59, I just did some foraging and fishing, almost completing the overpopulation request, but not quite. On day 60, I successfully complete the aquatic overpopulation request, and when I do so, a ticket pops up next to the special request board. So, out of curiosity, being an item I've never seen before, I go and grab it. The item itself says to go inside of Lewis's house, so that's what I do. Where Lewis tells me all about what these tickets are for, where these are special prizes where you might randomly get a ticket whenever you successfully complete a quest to help someone out in the town, and you can exchange it for some pretty interesting items. Like the first one gave me 12 broccoli seeds. Pretty interesting. I just forage for the rest of the day and then go to bed. I woke up on day 61 to get a notification that, hey, by the way, your farm's been damaged by some weeds, which is always fun information. Dimitri's also has left the blueprints to the farm machine inside of my mailbox, which, hey, that's cool. I'm not going to be building that anytime soon. And I just did a lot of foraging for the day. And by the back end of the day, I finally got a hazelnut. It actually took 5 straight days of foraging to finally find a single one of them. My luck is unreal. So we finally complete the fall foraging bundle. Day 62, I went over to the beach where I put some crab pots the previous day and collected them, all those goodies from there. And one of them so happened to be the shrimp, one of the last items that we can use for the crab pot. I then do a bit of spotted fishing to get some seaweed, to get some fish, do a little bit of that, and then I head back to base. On my way there, I pass by Pierre to get some rice so I can make a maki roll. I donate both of those to the bundles, completing not only the chef's bundle, but the crab pots bundle, which then completes the fish tank finally. Epic. And then we go to sleep, watching the Junimos dance around the glittering rock. On day 63, I plant another round of cranberries. Finally having the money to do that, I plant all of them to fill up the rest of the fields. These will not be ready for the first harvest, but I've planted them here to perfectly line them up for what will be the second harvest. So from the second harvest onwards, we'll get 4 giant harvests. The first one isn't going to be as big, but you know what? That's okay. Afterwards, I'd go up and see the new panning area because the glittering stone's been removed. I give it a pan by good old Willie. Day 64, it's time for our first round of cranberries. Again, not a full harvest because I only got to plant the rest of them yesterday, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And then also just peruse cavern skulls for a little bit. It's a bad luck day. I don't have many bombs. I don't even have a gold pickaxe yet. It's just more getting a vibe check of the entire situation. Then I head back home and honestly go to bed. I woke up on day 65 being a richer man, wanting the smell of the trees, so I tore down some trees and did some foraging. At the end of the day, I took a look at Robin's after-hours shop to start upgrading my coop. Day 66, whilst I was roaming around doing some foraging and also collecting some artifacts with my hoe, I came across the special request board again, remembering, oh yeah, that's right, that happens every week now. I should probably double check that every Monday. Anyway, I take one of the requests, the biome control, where I go over to the ocean and catch 20 total fish in an attempt to maintain the biome. I do that for the day, and then on my way back, I noticed there was a new prize ticket next to the special request sign, so I take it and exchange it with Lewis and get an orange tree sapling. I woke up on day 67 to see the large coop had been upgraded to the final level, which I would then head down to Marie's, wait a few moments, and grab a rabbit from her. And then I just fished for the rest of the day, successfully gaining about 6,000 coin worth of fish. I'd say that's a pretty successful fish off. I exited the front door on day 68 to be greeted by Leah, who gave me an awesome looking statue that she was working on for the past little bit now. I then take my pickaxe and turn it into Clint for the gold upgrade finally, and then donate some bits and bobs that I've been holding on to for a bit to the museum. I then spend the most of the day just doing some foraging and other bits and bobs along those lines, till at the end of the day, I decided I'd actually try design a tree farm area where I can just farm up all the oak tree saps and stuff along those lines, and just redesign the top area to have a bit more of tree shenanigans there, and make it look better than the little mess it was slowly becoming because I just kind of ignored it. Day 69, aka Funny Number Day, and it's very wet. I mean, that's all I can really say about this. Actually, no more things happen. It's another cranberry harvest. Unfortunately, in spite of all my attempts of calculating the numbers, I failed to line up the cranberry harvest. So the second half is going to be available tomorrow. I was one day off. I'm great at this. Anyway, I spend most of the day just foraging, doing other bits and bobs, and then I eventually turn up in the forest where we find Leah again and help her get a food off a high tree for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, not much else happened. Day 70, the other half of the cranberries are finally ready, so we harvest them as well. We also go and get our pumpkin finally, meaning that we have the yam and the pumpkin being the final two things for the the fall farm bundle. Awesome. Also pick up my gold pickaxe, which is also pretty cool. And at the end of the day, I decide to start putting in the work and getting a horse cart area constructed on the farm finally. When I gave Mouster the cat their daily pat on day 71, I got told that Mouster loves me, so I suppose it's one of the various different goals for perfection finally done, which is kind of Weird to see this early, but hey, that's okay. Anyway, I spent a bit of the morning just organizing some items that I want to do for the grand display. I want to see if I can win on the first try. I probably won't though, if I'm completely honest. I noticed my pomegranate and apple trees were finally ready, so I take them both over to the bundles and use the apple to complete the artisan bundle, therefore completing the pantry finally. And then I gave the pomegranate to the enchanter's bundle, which is pretty neat. I then would go over and smash a bunch of geodes over at the blacksmith for the rest of the day, and then record it early tonight. Day 72 is the Stardew Festival today, so we go and do that, and I put all my awesome things in the Grange, and we actually win, which feels pretty good. Take that, Pierre. And we get 1,000 star points from Lewis, and I bet it all on green and immediately lose it all. It's great. This is why you don't gamble, kids. I converted 500 gold to another 10 star tokens and slowly worked it all the way back up to 2,000 so I can get myself the star drop. For some reason, it reminds me of subscribers. Weird. And then I also got another 500 just to get the fedora because, you know, collecting hats is fun and all, even though it's a bit of a silly hat. But we're going to wear it for a little bit because it's funny. I exit the day on 73 to see my horse has finally arrived. Hello, horse. I'm going to give you the old leprechaun hat that I was wearing before. I'm going to call you Joe because we Joe riding. That's a bad joke that is going to terribly date this video, but that's okay. I found it funny when I did it. It's probably not funny anymore, but here we are. Also entered the coop to see that the rabbit's already left a foot, which is actually pretty good and pretty quick, meaning that the enchanter's bundle is almost done. I finally brought myself the iridium rob, and I also moved the greenhouse around now that we finally have that from completing the pantry a few days prior, and then also brought a fishing pool, a pond thing, so we can start having that. And then after riding around the town for a bit, I just spent the rest of the day slowly working out a design and idea for the actual farm itself, at least the area around the greenhouse. I'm not 100% sure how I want to do the entire thing yet, but we're slowly getting there. Day 74, time for another cranberry harvest, and also the third apple in a row has now come off the tree, meaning that we've finally got the 3 apples required for the fodder bundle, completing that bundle, meaning that we're only 4 items away from completing all the bundles. 3 of them we can't get until winter because the Nautilus shell and the 2 other winter forageables, and the last one is the wine, which should be finished by tomorrow. I then spend some time decorating around the farm, starting to place around some grass starters. I try to figure out the design I want to go for my layout, and then I finally brought the bag upgrade. It took me long enough. I don't know why it took me so long to do that, but hey, I did it. And then I threw myself in the mines for the rest of the day. I'm still yet to get the first dwarven scroll, and I would like to have that so I can finally purchase bombs from the dwarfs so I can go into the skull caverns and start having runs there, but we can't quite start doing that just yet. And to close the day, I was greeted with choosing a new thing for the farming level because we finally hit level 10. On day 45, we have our second half of cranberries ready to harvest, as well as the wine is finally ready, so completing the enchanter's bundle, leaving us with the 3 items for winter. I will then jump into the mines for a little bit in order to try and find the last dwarf scroll, and I found it actually pretty quickly today, which is awesome. I ran over to Gunther, gave it to him, got the dwarvish book of translation, went back over to mines and brought a bunch of bombs. We are now ready for a skull caverns trip, which we'll save until another good luck day. I then spend the rest of the day fishing up until about just past 1, where we finally hit fishing level 10. Awesome. I exit the door on day 76 to be greeted by Evelyn, hanging out the front, wanting to talk to me about being a farmer and how much he likes to farm in his current state, and giving me a garden pot. I didn't get up to much else throughout the day. I kind of just ran laps around the valley because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do right now. Because yeah, I'm waiting for a good luck day to go jump in the skull caverns, and I'm also not 100% sure how I want to decorate the farm still. Fun. On day 77, I finally took my hoe in to start the copper upgrade. I thought that, you know what, in this downtime period, I may as well start moving tools along and start upgrading them massively. And I also asked Leah to be my girlfriend, because we're now at that point, which is pretty neat. Also, something I'll tack on now, a part of the daily chores from this point forward is that I'm just going into the secret woods and smashing through the hardwood logs in an attempt to continue to increase my foraging XP. And you know what's funny, midway through day 78, I discovered that OBS is yet again frozen on the screen, and it's just, this is the second time it's happened this entire thing, and it's really frustrating. I'm not going to go back and redo an entire day because of that. Not much happened that day anyway. We move on to day 78, where I woke up in the morning to see Leah inviting me to her art show. So I head into town to go collect this week's special request, and where I notice the wizard wants some prismatic jelly. So you know what this week's going to be? Mining diving. Let's go. So I jumped into the mines for a little bit, find a propeller hat from one of the slimes, which is pretty neat. I take that hat, and when at 3 o'clock I head back out of the mines, replace the hat and the horse, and go see the art show. After which I just jump back in the mines for the rest of the day, not getting the prismatic jelly today. Day 79, time for another cranberry harvest, and then I spend the rest of the day in the mines, did not find a prismatic slime. I wake up on day 80 to the second half of the cranberry fields being fully ready to grow, and this will be the last time this half will be harvestable this season, which kinda sucks, but it is what it is. I also finally grabbed my hoe because that upgraded yesterday and I just forgot to go grab it, and then I jump in the mines for the rest of the day, still yet to find the prismatic jelly. I walked out the door on day 81 to see not only is the ancient fruit ready for its first harvest, but also the sweet gemberry is also ready to go. So I grab the ancient fruit and throw it into the seed maker and take the sweet gemberry down to the secret woods to get myself another star drop. It reminds me of subscribers again. Very weird, it's happened thrice now. After planting the 3 ancient fruit seeds into the greenhouse, I throw myself in the mines for the rest of the day, where I find my first prismatic shard, which I quickly take and try to run to the bus stop before 5 o'clock. Unfortunately, it clocks over to 5 right as I get there, so Pam starts to walk away. That's okay, I head over to the book sailor and get the wind books mean that I can now walk a little bit faster. I jump back in the mines again for the rest of the night and find my second prismatic shard. That's the wrong prismatic things game. I'm not going to argue too much about it because that's going to be a good sword tomorrow, but I'm also looking for the prismatic slime, damn it. Day 82, it's a good luck day, and since I'm already going to head over to the desert to get myself the galaxy sword, which is pretty cool, I thought that I'd also do a session in the Skull Caverns. Throughout the day, I managed to get all the way down to floor 34, which was a monster nest thingamabob, and I chose to pull out there purely because it was already 11, and I may as well head home now before I get myself killed. Unfortunately, still no prismatic jelly, but managed to get 13 pieces of iridium ore, which is a pretty good start, all things considering. Day 83, I woke up in the morning to 10,000 coin in my mailbox from Mr. Q because I went down to floor 25 in the Skull Caverns. I then jumped into the normal mines for most of the day until about 9:30 when I hopped back out to go do Spirit's Eve. Unfortunately, still no prismatic slime yet. Anyway, I talked to everyone at the festival, did the maze, and then grabbed the golden pumpkin and then head to bed. On day 84, we woke up to the last cranberry harvest of the season. I also got the last eggs I needed for Gus's famous omelette, which I would give to him at 12 o'clock, and then I proceeded to spend the rest of the day spamming floor 5 in hopes of getting the prismatic jelly. And you know what? I did get the prismatic jelly at 12:30. And so once I got it, I ran over to the Wizard Tower, only to find out that it closed at 11 p.m. Yeah. Feels great, doesn't it? The final day of this quest, I've managed to get the prismatic jelly, but it's already too late. And I can't make it back to base in time to do anything about it, so I'm just going to pass out on my horse on my way back. Woo, what a way to end fall. I wake up on day 85 and it's quiet, but also very cold, and my fields are empty. I thought they usually die, but no, they're just completely gone this time round. Something tells me it's a little bit of winter today. So we end up spending a bit of the day roaming around, getting the last of the forageables, getting some snow yams, some crobus, and then finding a nautilus shell on the beach and taking them all up to the community center, completing the fall foraging bundle and then the final bundle of the entire community center, successfully completing the community center today, which is pretty awesome. Actually, the first time I've ever completed the community center in this game, because usually my playthroughs kind of taper out at this point in time, and I haven't been as organized enough as I have been this series. I plant the winter forageable seeds that we got from the community center, as well as a bunch of the snow powder melon thingamabobs that I've collected over the past few days, and then I head to bed for the night, watching the Junimos do their final dance around the bridge to the quarry. On day 86, I came out of the farm to see Marie asking for, hey, could you get me a cave character source? Because I don't want to go in the caves myself, but the goats seem to really like them. So after teleporting back to my coop, wait a moment, that's a little weird. I go grab the cave carrot and take it over to me. Okay, if you want to know what happened, I came out of my chicken coop and then got teleported to the front door of my farmhouse to talk to Marie, because she didn't do that when I hopped out the farmhouse initially. Kind of funny. Anyway, I gave her a cave carrot and then I head into town where I see the community center is back up and running and everyone is celebrating. I go inside, get given a cool trophy, and we watch Pierre knock the hell out of Morris as he goes flying through the roof. Bye bye, Jojo Mart. I then hit in the mines for most of the day to clear out the cave patrol quest, destroying 50 dust sprites. Awesome. Managed to do that but before the end of the night, getting my 6,000 gold from that quest, and then I just go outside, be greeted by Linus, who wants to show me his secret recipe inside of his tent. Don't worry, it's just for wild bait. Nothing suspicious happened in that tent whatsoever. And then I just clear out the quarry for the rest of the night. When I walked out the door of my farmhouse on day 87, all I could see was a letterbox filled to the brim with countless letters, with a lot of villagers giving me their secret awesome recipes so I can cook them myself. And also various other things. Clint gave me a geocrusher blueprint due to me completing the cave buster quest, and Pierre tells me he's now open 7 days a week, which is pretty cool. And Willie also told me that there's something out the back that he wants me to take a look at, so he's unlocked the door. A bit weird of a thing to propose, but hey, I'm not going to question it. We'll go check that out. When I head into town, in the bus stop, I come across a ghostly looking figure who runs away from me. I follow him up into the bushes next to the community center, and when he jumps out, he gives me his magnifying glass that he picked up. Pretty cool. I then head over to Clint to give him my watering can to upgrade to copper. I exchange in a reward token to get myself some mystery bundles. Interesting. Then I head down to the ocean and look in the back of Willie's house, and we see an abandoned boat that he's asking me, hey, could you help me rebuild this? It requires 200 hardwood, 5 battery packs, and 5 pieces of iridium, which is going to be interesting to gather up. I think I've got at least the battery packs already done. Hardwood wouldn't take too long, but the iridium's going to require a bit more skull cavern diving, which we'll do on the next good luck day. I then head up to the quarry and start clearing that out even more than I did the day beforehand, and got a secret note that gave me an X in the railway area. When I head up there, I encounter the wizard, who tells me all about his ex-wife and how she went crazy and became a witch, and told me that, hey, I want you to help get my black ink back. You're going to need to get a dark talisman from Kroger's, who I've never met yet. Apparently he lives in the sewers. I can't get there yet. Anyway, when I go to X-Master's spot and hose it up, I get a 5,000 gold treasure chest, which is pretty cool. On day 88, I'll take a trip out to the Calico Desert to plant a bunch of hardwood trees with some tree fertilizer, as I'm going to need a lot of hardwood over the next little bit, as well as it's good for XP, it's useful. Then donate a bunch of stuff to the museum, and then I head up to the quarry. I venture into the quarry cave and get myself the golden scythe, and then I clear out the quarry for the rest of the day. Day 89, it was a good luck day, so you know what that means. After buying some bombs from the dwarf, I go skull cavern mining. I managed to find myself a dino floor, which is pretty epic, and I managed to get all the way down to, I believe, either 53, 54. I did not double check before I totemed away after getting a bit more iridium ore, but afterwards I managed to get my collection. I got 35 total iridium ore, as well as a bunch of other goodies, and I passed out trying to throw all the iridium ore into the furnace. I would say that's a pretty good day. Day 90, onto the final 10 days. My watering can is ready, so I take it from Clint and give him my hoe to ask him to put it to steel. I then donate the dinosaur egg and the bone to the museum, which is pretty cool. Yes, I could incubate the egg, but I'm going to need to donate it at some point too. I may as well do it now, since I got it pretty early on, and I've got another 2-ish years to get another one. It shouldn't be that hard, right? Hope I don't regret this decision. And then I go into Gus's tavern to see that he's made the world famous omelette, which is pretty funky. I then spend the rest of the night just smelting away all the iron, all the stuff that I've built up over the past few massive caving runs, which is pretty good. Day 91, time for another shopping cart, which has a bunch of amaranth, and well, Marine asked for that last season. I just didn't bother to get around to it, but hey, I'll grab it and give it to her and make a net profit of 50 gold. Talking about stonks here. And I just fish for most of the day, really, until about 6 o'clock at night, where I catch a squid. I take that in and give it to Willie, because he also made a request earlier on this season for a squid to be caught in winter, which is pretty good. Completing these quests are quite fun. and I finally throw something into the fishing pond, a sea cucumber. Hopefully it can give some good stuff. I don't know. I've never made use of ponds in this game before. This is completely unfamiliar territory for me. Anyway, I go to bed. Day 92, today was the Festival of Ice, which is pretty cool. Anyway, my winter forageables are ready to be picked up, and so is the powder melon, which is pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have my hoe down around right now because it's still at Clint, so I can't hoe more space to place down all the winter seeds, but that's okay. That's a problem for me another time. Anyway, time to go to the Ice Festival, and I did some magnificent fishing and successfully sweeped Willie out of the competition's way and won that, getting myself a new hat and a bunch of tackle. And you know what a new hat means? I put on a new hat and Joe gets a new hat. Joe's now got that fun propeller hat. It's quite funky. Anyway, to bed. Day 93, time for another special request for the week, and this time we've gone Robin's Resource Rush, which requires us to get 1,000 stone within the next 6 days. I then collect my steel hoe from Clint, and then I run into the mines for the rest of the day, successfully gaining 320 stone for the first day. Day 94, I just spent most of the day inside of the mines, successfully collecting another 488 pieces of stone and passing out on my front doorstep. On day 95, when I was sorting through my inventory from the previous night of Cave Game, I noticed that I gained another ancient seed, so I quickly planted that in the greenhouse. Anyway, I quickly just jump into the mines for the remainder of the day, successfully completing Robin's Resource Rush quests. Awesome. I woke up on day 96 being told that a Squid Fest is on, which I have no idea what that is, so after exchanging a prize ticket with Lewis's house again, I check out the ocean to see there's another fishing event going on, very similar to the Trout Derby, but instead of catching rainbow trouts to get some golden tags to exchange for prizes, instead there's a daily quota of how many squid you need to catch to get all the rewards. And well, I successfully catch all 8 squid I need for the day, getting myself a bunch of awesome rewards, which is pretty cool. On day 97, I finally collected enough hardwood to be able to complete everything to do with the boat. So I take everything to the boat, put in the 5 battery packs, put in the 200 hardwood and the 5 iridium bars. And then I proceed just to do the fishing thing for the entirety of the day. This time you need to get to 10 squids in order to max out all the rewards you needed. I managed to get there by about 10:30, collecting everything that you could get as a reward for this fishing event. One of them being a new hat, and you know what that means? Swapping my hat to this weird squid hat, and then giving Joe a new hat. When I went to bed, we see Robin and Willie repairing the boat. Day 98, I didn't get up to particularly much. I kind of just roamed around doing a bit more foraging, trying to get more artifacts. I'm about 5 things away in the museum in order to actually unlock the sewers because I haven't quite gotten there yet. I actually ventured into the fruit bat cave for once today, and well, it was full of fruit. Who would have known? Day 99, the crops are ready again, so we pick up all the forageables as well as our powder melon, create a bunch more forageable seeds, and we plant almost all of them, actually all of them, taking up 2 of our entire crop fields finally, because I now have a hoe that I can actually do things with. Anyway, whilst I was dealing with the animals, a train appeared, so I went up there to check it out. It gave me some frozen geodes and a bit of stone, after which I head down to the night markets and spend the night there. I end up going down to the deep dark fishing, grabbing myself the blobfish, the spookfish, and the midnight squid, all things that are necessary from the sub, as well as we went over and grabbed the painting of the night before I went to bed. Day 100. I can't believe it's finally over for the time being. Today's a good luck day, so I could jump into the skull caverns, but ultimately I decided not to because there's just multiple other things to do, especially collect this week's special request, which there happens to either be Pierre getting 25 golden quality vegetables for him, which we're in winter, that's not happening, or going and finding another prismatic jelly. So I take and attempted that quest again, but again, it's not a problem for me right now, it's a problem for the later me who has to come back to this mess. I spent a bunch of time just processing through all the mystery boxes and geodes I've collected up over the past few weeks now because it's been a while since I've last smashed through them all. Donated a bunch of stuff to the museum. I believe we're now over 60, so tomorrow morning I should get the key. But again, I'll find that out about that next time I start this. And I do jump in the mines for a little bit, start resetting floor 5, hoping to get a prismatic jelly just to be a good way to end. But no, did not get that. I head over to night markets and grab the nightly paint, and yeah, that's it. Ultimately, I feel really really good about how this first 100 days went. It's definitely gone far better than I expected it to. As I said, this is the furthest I've ever been in Stardew Valley, so from this point onwards, it's now new stuff that I've never seen before, and we're ready to go to Ginger Island. I've successfully completed the boat already. That is ready to go. We can do that day dot when we come back, and that's going to be pretty awesome. But ultimately, I'm now just going to leave you here with the daily time lapse, because that's what the other mod was, a daily screenshotter, taking a screenshot of the farm every single day. So I'll leave you with that time lapse, but until next time, bye bye.